Alright, what's up guys? It's Del here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing a figure. This is the Moshow Toys Illustrious Class Date Masamune. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me review more like mecha metal build figures and other stuff like that. But with that said, let's get into the video. And as always, I got this kit from gundamit.com, my go-to place for third-party and independent release kits. And whenever you're over there checking them out, be sure to go in that top left-hand corner and type in supporter code DEL. Whenever you purchase stuff, it just gives me points. So it helps out the channel with no additional cost to you. Well, besides hurting your wallet's feelings by buying more plastic. But thank you, and the link will be in the description. Now let's get back to that review. Alright guys, we're going to do something a little bit different for the unboxing segment of this video, as we have a figure here today. I'm kind of just going to go through with like a live reaction of like the unboxing experience and stuff, since with it being a figure instead of a kit, I feel like it's going to be a bit more special feeling, almost like bring back that feeling of like, you're a kid, you're opening up a figure you wanted for Christmas or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know, figures, check it out, start looking at some figures too on top of model kits, But here we have the Moshow Toys, Illustrious Class, Date Masamune. This is a smaller scale. This is 1/100 instead of 1/72 scale, like their bigger figures are. And this is a much nicer price range. Those can go up over $100. Meanwhile, this is down to the $60 price range. And for that, I think it's a pretty good deal. Got some nice artwork up here on the front of the box. Got him there with his rifle there on the back. And just some miscellaneous information here on the sides. But let's go ahead and get this open. I went ahead and tore it off. I just peeked inside a little bit to make sure everything was there and nothing got broke. But you just pull this out with our envelope. If I'll check that out because I have another one of these by them, and I'm pretty sure that is our warranty and stuff and our information booklet. But we're going to get 2 good chunks of plastic here, followed by our mystery box. This is something Moshow Toys always does, is you get this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily gamble, but you have this little lottery type thing where each of their products come with a little mystery item. So we'll open that up here in a little bit and see what we got. For starters here, let's go ahead and, this got tape on it? No, it doesn't got tape. Alright, so we can go ahead and pop this open. Start pulling our stuff. We got a bigger sword here. Almost all this is painted. And all the stuff already has decals applied. So that's very nice. Got a smaller sword. We get a little nameplate. Here we have his rifle. And let's get him out himself. Put this down here to the side. Get out of my way. Just gonna pull him out of his little plastic coffin. And you can see he's got all kinds of just padding stuck in there to help protect him during shipment. So get this out. Be free. Love the care of the packaging we got here. Let's toss this away. Set him down right there. Put him back in a little bag. All right, here we have the figure himself of Date Masamune. I know he's a historical Japanese figure. I know him from the Samurai Warrior games I used to play as a kid, and I mean, still sometimes play them to today. Same thing with the other Takeda Shingen, which I will show also along with this guy. But, I mean, we got excellent detail on them. These are metal framed figures, so they have a full internal metal structure. Everything outside is painted. I mean, even as far as, like, get the little gold on the pipes here. Those are painted as well. So, yeah, very cool. We'll go ahead and just carefully set them there. And let's get this other thing popped open here. We got our standard Moshow Toys action base, and if you never had one of these figures before, something very cool about them is if you look closely, there's magnets on the bottom of his feet, and you can just, well, if we get the foot bent to where it'll sit flat on it, you can get them to just stand on the action base. So I really like that about these figures. We are a little baggie of holster parts. Got a pair of handguns. That's cool. I didn't know this came with the handguns. I thought I had the rifle, and I'm glad he came with handguns because in the Samurai Warriors games, Date Masamune is usually depicted using a one-handed sword and handguns. Well, you know, it'd be like a flintlock back then, you know, but still, I'm glad he has these. We get a metal rod and a part for having them display up in the air. This plugs into the action base to form a display stand, so if you don't want to have them standing up, you can display them in the air. And we get this little tree of hands. So, very cool. I'm gonna pop open this envelope off camera in case it's a QR code or something that gets... Okay, cool, they have it covered up, so that's good. We get a manual in here, and this is going to show us everything it comes with, and it's also going to go over his points of accessories. So, very cool. And this does seem to have LED, AG1 batteries. I can't remember if this comes with batteries included or not. I haven't seen any, so I don't know if that's all I know. But look at our little mystery box here. Let's go ahead and pop this open and see what we got. Okay, so we got a couple things. We got an extra sword here in scabbard, but this sword has a cool purple blade on it. So that's neat. And so we've got a backpack unit with even more weapon holstering space. So that's awesome. And then we get a card here. I guess this is the pilot. But on the back is QR codes because I think if you get a certain like code, you can like enter it on the website and you have a chance to purchase like a different color version. But so for obvious reasons, I won't be showing those QR codes. But yeah, this is really cool. But all right, it does not look to be batteries included unless I'm blind. I don't think I missed anything. I don't think I grabbed any AG1 batteries. I got LR44, but not AG1. Oh wait, unless they're pre-installed, maybe. Let's check it out. Because we're just gonna take off the back of his head here. Should take off the whole head. Okay, no, batteries are not pre-installed, and it appears the batteries are sold separately. Oh, shame. But all right, well, let's put his brain back together. And all right, so that was the unboxing, and now we're gonna head up on the other side for what would be the built segment. But since it's already built, let's go over that, you know, the sculpting and painting of it, as you know, our Lord and Savior Jobby would say. Now that we're getting up close, we can really see how good this figure looks. The color scheme of several different types of blue, black, and a splashing of orange, all highlighted by popping out metallic part. While the inner frame is metal, all the outer armor is painted plastic. And what a fantastic paint job. It feels extremely solid, and how can we not appreciate the pre-applied decals? Well, I'm assuming they're decals. It's hard to imagine painting all that detail on. And all this for around 60 bucks? Needless to say, so far I'm really impressed. Sure, you don't get the satisfaction of a build, but you get to pop this out of the box and throw it up on the shelf, and it looks great. I do, however, wish the eyes were painted a more vibrant green over the clear plastic, so they would look better when the LEDs are off. But that's really a nitpick. But with all that said, let's head over for some size comparisons. So the Masamune Date comes at a total height of 18 centimeters or 7.09 inches. Here it is against the Intrograde RX-78, Master Grade Gundam Mark II, The previous 1/100 from Moshow Toys, the Takeda Shingen. Our last review of the Fire Lord by SNAA. And a 1/72 scale metal build figure, Lu Bu by Motor Nuclear. Dude's giant. Alright, starting off the accessories, we're going to begin with the hands. So you get a pair of closed fist hands on the figure itself. And then we get this entire little tree of hands. And something to know about these are all painted in a metallic color. And these are all rubbery plastic hands. So I'll show you in a little bit. You don't take the fingers off to equip weapons, you really just plug them in. So we got a pair of sheath holding hands, sword holding hands, trigger finger hands, and then 2 pairs of different widespread dynamic hands. Up next we got his rifle. See excellent painting and sculpting here once again. Really cool looking. And for this, we'll need to get one of our trigger finger hands. Like I said before, we literally just put it in there. And with, I'm going to go ahead and, err on the side of caution, I would keep the amount of times you switch weapons to a minimum. Because, with any kind of rubberized plastic or anything like that, eventually I feel like these will lose their grip over time if you constantly change out weapons. So I would honestly just pick the way you like it and then keep it displayed like that. But when this is not in use, we got a little part here that came in our baggie. And we just plug it in there like that. And if we bring over our figure, we'll notice all kinds of little holes around them. And we can take this back part off. If my nail can get in there. Oh, there we go. We got one there on the back. You can just plug that in. And there you go. Like I said, this can be plugged in any of the holes on him. Up next we have his 2 swords. I'm going to cover these together because they're basically the same, just one's bigger and one's smaller. So each have their own sheath, and they fit in there very nicely. And for these, we get our sword holding hand. And we just slide it in there like that. And there's a couple different ways to store these. So for instance, we put that back there. We got a holster part here that clips onto both of the swords at the same time. So we can do that and do that. Or we got some individual ones. Or we have these cool little parts here. What we can do with that is we take that and we slide it onto the blade like that, and we can have this mounted to the back of the arm or wherever you want, but the manual shows for the back of the arm. So you can get the sword there like that, and this is very reminiscent of, I don't know if you guys ever played Devil May Cry, but Virgil, in his double trigger mode, he has his katana sheath on the back of his arm. And he happens to be blue as well. Next we have his pair of dual pistols. These will also use the same trigger finger hands as the rifle. And while these are not in use, we can clip them in there. And we can lift up this back flap right here. And this can come off, so don't worry if this happens to come off like that. It literally just pegs back down in there. And we can plug this into his butt flap. Or if you're so inclined, we can remove these and we can plug those like that. And then he can have some side holster pistols as well. There's a lot of modularity with this figure. Here we have and I was wrong on this, by the way. This is plastic. It's just a very soft piece of plastic. But we have a action base adapter, and what we're going to do is we unscrew this, and we get, sorry, it goes like this. Okay, yeah. We get that through there like that. We take this and screw it back on. And we got a little button here. We can unlock that to move it around. And we take that and we plug it here in the back of the action base. Like so. And so now, if we don't want him just, standing on the action base like that, we can have him displayed in the air. And just goes up underneath his crotch. And there you go. Stanced up. But something else that's cool I like about this is you can take your tree of hands here and you can just simply plug this into it. So now you have a place to store all your hands. We like storage. We like storage. And it's going to float away. Here we have a little nameplate with, Date Masamune listed on the bottom. And there's a magnet on the bottom here. So we can have it down there. On the base is that. But there's a different function for this. So if we bring our figure over here and we pop off his skull. Not a skull, but the top of his helmet. We got some 2 AG1 batteries in there. I'll post a link to those on Amazon or something in the description so you know what batteries to get. But we have those in there. Not included, by the way. And if we come up here and we give it a tap, now let's them come through. They're not super bright, but he does have LEDs in his head. And you tap again for a pulsing. And tap one more time to turn it off. And now, I will say this is one thing I dislike about the 1/100 scale figure. The 172 figure has LEDs here in his chest too, and this all lights up. But not on the smaller version. So, that kind of stinks. And I'll go ahead and cover this as well, but this is what we got in our little mystery box. We got a extra back unit, so we can store 4 swords on his back. And we got the same katana with a pink blade. Now, I will say this is an improvement, because whenever I got the Takeda Shingen, mine was this blue metallic blade, but it didn't come with an extra sheath. Oh, that's coming off. Let's just plug that back in there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it didn't come with an extra sheath, so you didn't have a sheath to put it in, obviously. So I'm glad that this one has an extra sheath included. So it's very nice. Now let's get into the articulation. Starting off with the head, we have a ball joint here, a forward and back motion. And if we look on the back side of his head, this part right here is poseable too, so the helmet does not get in the way of looking up or anything. We got a 360 here at the arm. We can pull this out and we get a really good butterfly joint. Shoulders move independently. We got a piece of arm here we can move. We got a rotation here. Of course, we can bend that. Get a really nice double jointed elbow. Arm can go up about that high. We got a ball joint for the hands. We got a twist here. It gets caught on the back butt plate a little bit. We got a really good ab crunch. And if you look here on the back, these armor plates will move. So that's really cool detail. We also get a decent side to side. we can move these front skirts all the way up. And we can pull out the front part here to get this up. This is to help prevent, scratching your paint or anything and doing really dynamic poses. So I'm glad that's there. We got some decent movement here on the side skirt, as well as the butt flap, so we can pretty much get all that up, just out of the way, totally flat like that. Which means we can get that leg up about 9 degrees. And we bend it here. We got some armor separation. And if we check here on the back of the leg when we do that, we move the foot, that piece of metal moves as well. But we can get leg out a good bit too. Back all the way. And we got a slight pivot here at the hip. Then down here on the foot, we got movable arm parts here and here. Can move that up and down. Got some crazy ankle pivot. I mean, that ankle's broke. He can't walk on that no more. And we can bend the toe up a good amount and down. Angle the foot, and then up like that. As well, don't forget the magnets on the bottom of the feet. So yeah, articulation is definitely this dude's strong point. I mean, it's a figure after all. You're going to want to play with this. And all my messing with it, I have not seen a fleck of scratch paint yet. So, really impressed with this guy. And we reached the end of review once again. And do I recommend picking up this figure? 100% if you're into figures. I know a lot of model builders that want nothing to do with figures at all, but I feel like they're a nice change of pace, especially if you like posing and want to keep something on your desk just to actually play with and not worry about parts falling off. This guy is solid through and through, and I've known for a while now that Moshow Toys has excellent quality, and I do want to pick up their bigger figures in the future. As always, links will be in the description. Let me know if you want more mecha figure reviews alongside my model kit reviews. The feedback is greatly appreciated. But as always, until next time guys, you all take care.